Ain't no secret. Should do Eddie Kane Jr. Like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe to me, leave a comment down the video so I can sub back to you. Deuce. Ain't no secret. Should do Eddie Kane Jr. Like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe to me, leave a comment down the post. I'm gonna sub back to you. Rick. Know what I'm talking about? Hey, welcome back. You know where you at? It's EKJOnSports, man. So we gotta speak on Alabama, man. Like, they had a tougher than expected game against South Florida, and it's like it's a revolving door at the quarterback room. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna dive into Bama and see what's going on. So Alabama scraped by USF in week 3. They took down the Bulls 17-3 in a rare road game against a non-power conference opponent. You know what I'm saying? The number 10 Crimson Tide, the number 10 at the time Crimson Tide, struggled to generate offense under new starter Tyler Buckner, which paved the way for redshirt freshman Ty Simpson to enter the game late in the second quarter and through the second half. Now, Simpson is a former 5-star prospect. You know what I'm saying? He has the pedigree, but star rankings and all that doesn't matter when it's time to snap the ball and play these games. You know what I'm saying? So he showed some promise in his first real playing time of the year. He engineered Alabama's first scoring drive, a field goal to tie the game at 3-3 near the end of the second quarter, and connected with tight end C.J. Dupree for 45 yards in the third quarter, the longest gain of the game, regardless of the team. Simpson finished with 5 of 9 passing for 73 yards. Now, see, this is uncommon territory for Bama. Like, their last 4 quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, have been Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, and Bryce Young, all starters for NFL teams as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So now Alabama has to lean on its running game. You know what I'm saying? Crimson Tide running back Roydell Williams had one of the biggest games of his career, rushing 17 times for 129 yards and 1 touchdown. Despite the win, Alabama has some things to work on before it opens conference play next week against number 15 Ole Miss. Alabama added a wrinkle to his quarterback situation before the game even began when it revealed that Buckner, a transfer from Notre Dame, would get the start over Jalen Milroe. Milroe, he was the starting quarterback in Alabama's first 2 games, and he played every snap of Week 2's 34-24 loss against Texas. But the only thing is, though, Milroe wasn't careful with the ball. He had 2 interceptions, could have had more. But the only thing is, though, Milroe is their most explosive athlete. He gives Bama that added dimension of a running quarterback, a running threat. Now, he does have to work in his decision-making, throwing the ball down the field. Now, Buckner, he failed to impress in his relatively limited playing time. He completed just 5 of his 14 pass attempts for 34 yards, averaging just over 2.4 yards per attempt. And all 5 of Alabama's drives with him at the helm ended in punts. Alabama turned to Simpson near the end of the second quarter. Simpson finished the game and fared a bit better, leading all 3 of Alabama's scoring drives. It was interesting that Milroe didn't get into the game at all. You know what I'm saying? Milroe threw for 449 yards and 5 touchdowns while rushing for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns in his first 2 starts. But it all comes back to ball security. That's what Saban definitely values. You know what I'm saying? That's what all coaches value, especially Nick Saban. He values a quarterback that will protect the ball. Now, the thing was, when Milroe was in the game, his old line didn't do him any favors. You know what I'm saying? He was sacked 7 times in 2 games. Ty Simpson was sacked 5 times on Saturday. So Alabama had 203 yards rushing, but the pass protection was terrible. A lot was made of the Bama O-line. It looked big and slow, giving up 5 sacks, and struggled to pick up exotic blitz looks. And South Florida defensive back Daquan Evans led all players with 3 sacks. The Crimson Tide's O-line struggles with hamstring anyone. Alabama's coaching staff decides to trot out a quarterback. While Alabama's offensive line let its quarterbacks down, the Crimson Tide eventually did a really good job of opening running lanes and providing good looks on the ground. 9 of Alabama's 10 plays that covered at least 10 yards came on the ground. Williams had 2 rushes of at least 20 yards, including a 26-yard scamper he parlayed into a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Alabama's first rushing touchdown of the game. Williams combined with Jace McClellan for 203 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. It was a 1-score ball game deep into the fourth quarter. Bama put together a 6-play, 84-yard drive to go up 10-3. It was tied 3-3 since the second quarter. No one expected that game to be that close, that late into the game. And just that 3 points that Bama scored in the first half against South Florida, that was their lowest scoring total in the first half against a non-power conference opponent since 2000 against Southern Miss. It also stands as Alabama's lowest scoring total in either half against a non-power opponent since 2007, when Nick Saban's inaugural Crimson Tide team was held scoreless in the second half and a loss to Louisiana Monroe. And with this lackluster performance, Alabama is out of the top 10 of the Associated Press college football poll for the first time in 8 years. Its streak of 128 consecutive appearances ranked in the top 10 was snapped. That was the second longest such streak in the history of the poll. Saban has won 6 titles at Bama and 7 total. He also won 1 at LSU before he took a trip to the NFL and got humbled and came back and became a head coach at Alabama. So there are some that are enjoying how this Bama team looks. They think that they've had a reign of terror for a long time, and they're glad that Alabama is looking mortal. I think Saban goes back to quarterback Jalen Milroe next game. He gives him the best chance to win. Bama has no time to feel sorry for itself because number 15 Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, a former Saban assistant, are coming to town this Saturday. So we'll see how Alabama bounces back, but I definitely think that Jalen Milroe will be the quarterback moving forward for Bama, and they'll have to just manage. They'll have to accept that he might throw some picks, but he definitely helps them to score far easier than any other quarterbacks that Saban has trotted out. That's just how I see it. You should do Eddie Kane Jr. If you're not a Renegade, hit that sub button. Welcome to the Renegades. Dude.